You love your fish. You feed them every day, you clean the tank. They've been alive for months, maybe years. So you must be doing it right, right? But here's what most fish owners never find out until it's too late. Survival isn't the same as thriving. The things you do every single day, the things that feel like care, some of them are slowly breaking your fish down. Not all at once, not in a way you'd notice, just quietly, steadily, every day. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to understand something about your fish that most owners never figure out. And when you do, everything you do at that tank is going to change. The light you keep forgetting to turn off. Does your tank light go on when you remember to turn it on? Most people's does. You turn it on in the morning if you're home. You leave it on if you forget to switch it off at night. Some days it's on for 4 hours, some days 15. It doesn't seem to matter. The fish are swimming either way. But here's what most people never realize. Your fish doesn't just prefer a consistent light schedule. It depends on one to survive. Fish don't have eyelids. They can't block the light out. They can't decide it's time to sleep and pull the curtains. Their entire biology, their hormones, their digestion, their immune function, their sleep cycle, is governed by the rhythm of light and dark in their environment. And every time you change it, you're resetting every biological process that clock controls. You see, the fish's circadian system is built around predictability. Light arrives, certain hormones release. Darkness arrives, others do. Digestion runs on that schedule. Cell repair runs on that schedule. The immune system also runs its maintenance cycle during the dark hours, the hours when the body isn't spending energy on anything else. When the light stays on until midnight because you forgot, that maintenance cycle never runs. The body keeps waiting for dark that doesn't come. Researchers at Complutense University in Spain studied goldfish kept on irregular light schedules and found significant disruption to cortisol rhythms, immune markers, and metabolic function within just 2 weeks. 2 weeks of inconsistent lighting produced measurable biological damage in an otherwise healthy fish. And here's what 2 weeks becomes over months. The immune system running permanently behind on its maintenance cycle starts missing things it would normally catch. Minor infections take hold. Your fish's metabolism, never quite sure what phase it's in, runs inefficiently. Your fish eats the same amount, but extracts less from it. Energy levels drop. Your fish that was active and responsive 6 months ago now mostly hovers. You changed nothing. You just kept forgetting to turn the light off. And if your fish could tell you what that moment feels like, I don't know when it's supposed to be dark. I keep waiting for it, and sometimes it comes and sometimes it doesn't. My body keeps trying to follow something that isn't there. I'm so tired, and I don't know why I'm so tired. That's not a fish getting old. That's a fish whose body has been trying to run on a clock that you keep resetting without knowing it. Set a timer. Light on at the same time every morning, off at the same time every night. Your fish's entire biology will reorganize itself around that rhythm within days. That's all it was waiting for. And by the way, if you're finding this helpful, click the like button. It only takes a second. The food that feels like love. Have you ever given your fish a little extra food because they kept coming to the front of the tank? Most people do. The fish shows up, you feed it. It shows up again, you feed it again. It feels like your fish is telling you it's hungry, and you're listening. But here's what most people don't realize. Your fish isn't coming to the front because it's hungry. It's coming because that's what you trained it to do. Fish don't have a stomach that empties and signals fullness the way yours does. They have a survival drive. Eat whenever food is available, because in the wild, it won't always be. That drive doesn't switch off when they're full. It has no off switch. It just keeps running. There's no moment of satisfaction, no feeling of enough, just a drive and the response on a loop you built without knowing it. Dr. Joanna Gum, a fish nutrition researcher, has documented that overfeeding is the leading cause of water quality failure in home aquariums. Not disease, not equipment failure, overfeeding. And the food your fish can't finish sinks. It breaks down. Ammonia levels rise. The water your fish breathes every second of every day starts working against it. Meanwhile, inside the fish, excess fat accumulates around the liver. Immune function drops. The fish that seemed fine last week starts spending more time near the surface. You think it's just getting older, but it's drowning slowly in the environment you built. That's not a fish begging for food. That's a fish doing the only thing it knows how to do with the relationship you built together. Feed once a day, only what it finishes in 2 minutes. That's it. The drive doesn't go away, but now you're the one deciding when it stops.
Water you think is clean. Have you ever added tap water directly to your tank? Most people have. You do a water change, the tap is right there, the temperature feels about right. It's water. Clean water. The kind you drink yourself. If it's safe for you, it must be fine for them. But here's what most owners never realize. Tap water isn't clean water. Not for a fish. To your fish, it's a chemical bath. What comes out of your tap has been treated to be safe for a human digestive system. Chlorine to kill bacteria, chloramine to make the chlorine last longer, sometimes heavy metals from the pipes it traveled through. Your body processes all of that without noticing. But your fish doesn't have that option. It doesn't drink the water. It breathes it. Every molecule that's in that tank passes directly through its gills, straight into its bloodstream, with nothing in between. Think about what chlorine actually does when it hits gill tissue. Gills are not skin. They're some of the most delicate, densely vascularized tissue in the fish's body. Thin membranes designed to pull oxygen from water with maximum efficiency. Chlorine doesn't pass through that tissue. It burns it. Not dramatically, not visibly, just quietly, at a cellular level, every time fresh tap water enters the tank. Research published in Aquatic Toxicology has shown that even brief chlorine exposure causes measurable gill cell damage in freshwater fish, damage that accumulates with repeated exposure and compromises the fish's ability to extract oxygen from water over time. And here's what that looks like from the outside. Nothing. The fish doesn't gasp immediately, it doesn't float, it just becomes slightly less efficient at breathing with every water change. Slowly, the stress hormones rise and don't come back down. And if the fish could tell you what it felt, the water changed. I felt it immediately. Something in it that wasn't there before. I tried to breathe through it the way I always do, but it wasn't the same. I don't know what it was. I just know my gills felt wrong, and I kept swimming because I didn't have any other option. That's not a fish adjusting to a water change. That's a fish absorbing damage it has no way to refuse. A water conditioner costs 2 pounds, 1 drop per liter added to the new water before it goes in the tank. That's the whole fix. The water your fish breathes every second of every day should never go in untreated again. The tap that feels like an explosion. Have you ever tapped the glass just to get your fish to move? Most people have. It's a little knock. You want to see them swim, or you're showing someone else the tank, or you just want to know they're still alive in there. It's nothing. A fingernail against glass. But to your fish, that tap is indistinguishable from a predator strike. Fish don't hear sound the way you do. They don't have ears that catch vibrations through air. They have a lateral line, a row of pressure sensors running the entire length of their body, from head to tail, designed to detect movement in the water around them. It's not a secondary sense. It's their primary one. It's how they know where they are, what's near them, and whether they're about to die. Sound travels through water 5 times faster than it travels through air. When your finger hits that glass, the pressure wave doesn't knock politely. It doesn't arrive at one end of the fish and work its way along. It hits every single sensor on that lateral line simultaneously, at full force, all at once. There is no warning. There is no direction. There is just an explosion of signal from every point on their body at the same moment. Dr. Cullum Brown, a fish cognition researcher at Macquarie University, has documented that the stress response triggered by sudden impact vibration in fish is neurologically identical to the response triggered by a predator attack. The body doesn't distinguish between the two. It doesn't have time to. What happens next happens in milliseconds, Cortisol floods the system, the heart rate spikes, every non-essential function shuts down, digestion stops, immune response pauses. The entire organism redirects every available resource toward one question: which way do I go? And that state doesn't end when you walk away. Stress hormones take up to 2 hours to clear. And if the fish could tell you what it felt like, everything just exploded. I don't know where from. I don't know what it was. I just know every part of me screamed at once, and I had nowhere to go. I'm still waiting for it to come. I don't know that it won't. That's not a fish being jumpy. That's a fish whose entire nervous system just fired a full predator alarm because of something that took you less than a second. Rest your palm flat against the glass instead. The warmth registers. The pressure is even. To your fish, that's not a threat. That's something it can learn to recognize. That's you.
Remember at the start when I said there's one thing your fish needs that has nothing to do with food or water or tank size? This is it. Consistency, not perfection. Your fish doesn't need a perfect owner. It needs a predictable one. It needs to know that the light comes on at the same time, that the food comes at the same time, that the person on the other side of the glass shows up the same way every day. Because your fish lives inside a nervous system that was built to detect threats. Every unexpected thing that happens in that tank, every surprise, every inconsistency, registers as danger, not inconvenience. Danger. You've been doing most of this without knowing what it was doing to them. The tapping, the overfeeding, the light you forgot to turn off. None of it came from not caring. It came from not knowing. Your fish has been waiting for you to figure this out. And now you have.